such as Brazil, Shadowlands, and Mr. Turner. He was killed in Season 6, Episode 10, The Winds of Winter. Please welcome the man who played Mace Tyrell, Roger Ashton-Griffiths.
My man!
We're scared of the stills.
She recently appeared in Storyland and My Mother and Other Strangers. She died, her character died, Season 5, Episode 10. But she lives on in our hearts. The original Princess Marcella, Aimee Richardson.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre prequel Leatherface, and he was killed in Season 6, Episode 5, The Door. He is the man who played young Hodor. Please welcome Sam Coleman to the stage.
You may have seen her on stage as Matilda in Matilda the Musical, or you may have seen her in Wolf Hall. She was sadly roasted in Season 5, Episode 9, The Dance of Dragons. Please welcome Shuri Marathiam, Kerrie.
He has appeared in movies such as The Danish Girl and Star Wars The Force Awakens. He was killed in Season 1, Episode 8, The Pointy End. Please welcome the man who played Serial Pharrell to the stage, Miltos.
I get the story. Excellent. Now I'm going to look like a 6-year-old.
Well, I'm a bit too big, so...
I'm just right.
There was a rumor going around earlier that Miltos may not be able to join this panel, and I was wondering if it might be because you don't think Serial Pharrell is a ghost of Westeros. Is there anything about the state of Serial Pharrell?
You're just stirring up a lot of trouble. That's what you're doing.
Gonna drop the mic on this, like Game of Thrones?
No.
Okay, well, thank you all so much for joining us today. To start with, it can be a challenging and awkward thing to find out that your character is being killed or is going to die. So can we each just go down the line and talk about like how you found out, how you processed the information, and how you approached the scene where you passed away? Let's start with Iwan.
I found out, I got a call from Dan and Dave, and they said, "Congratulations, Ramsay gets to the Iron Throne." And I said, "I'm dead, aren't I?" And they were like, "Yeah," so yeah. But I mean, I can't say it was a surprise, to be honest. But yeah, but then the death seems quite an interesting one, because yeah, I don't know if it was the last scene I did. I think, oh no, it was the last scene I did ever in the show, yeah. And but there were no actual dogs really there when I was doing that scene. It was all CGI and stuff, so yeah, it was alright.
How did you get in the mindset of pretending there were dogs there about to eat your face?
Just had to imagine it, I guess. But you know, I thought it was a really well constructed scene, and Sophie was great in it as well. And yeah, so it was just kind of just have to be like, you know. But I've seen the dogs, and I know what they're like, and I wouldn't want one in my face.
Fair enough. How about you, Sam?
Well, I didn't actually know Christian was going to die in his bit, because they blank out that part of my script, because they don't trust me in the secrets. Understandably so. So I was just rolling around on the floor for a bit, shouting, "Oh, this is fun." And then it turns out rather sad, so sorry about that.
Kate?
Well, I'd read the books up until Liza's death. I was just trying to get a hang in her background, so I knew that she died by the moon door, but I didn't know if they necessarily would feature that, because there's so much in the books, so you don't know what's going to make it and what's not. So I was really pleased to get the death, and had a lot of fun, because we had the moon door and there was like a foot drop or something, a crash mat, and then so I filmed that, and Aidan and Sophie were amazing. I had Sophie gripped with the back of the neck for hours that day, and she was amazing. And then about a week later I went and did the kind of stunt. I'm terrified of heights, so they said, okay, we're going to strap you into harness and we're going to pull you up to the top of the ceiling and you're going to hang over and die, and then what they do is they and the book's Liza's death is silent. There's no way I can be silent, so I was so frightened, so I just screamed my head off. And then, so that was quite fun, just seeing how they were going to work that out. So I was just pleased to get to die, and not just have a boy in my boobs forever, you know.
So you're a dedicated book reader, Kate.
Well,
Dickie.
I was until her death, because I just wanted to know why she was like that. She was so unhinged that I had to work out what went on before. I stopped reading after the book so that I could just...
It all goes downhill after that.
Yeah.
But I was wondering, there was a surprising bit of sort of deep book nerd controversy around your death scene on the show, because there were people who really wanted to hear Only Cat right before you went
your
down.
sister, I know.
Yeah. As a book reader yourself, you're like, what about this line here?
No, I was too busy worrying about
Fair enough.
greeting and pushing Sophie. I didn't mind what he said at the end. It was just as painful as whatever one. So I don't know if people were, I heard that people were outraged about his line, but
We'll get outraged about anything.
it was fine for me. It was fine.
How about you, Kerrie?
Well, I found out sort of halfway through filming season 5. So I got a call from David and Dan, and they basically explained everything that was going on and how it was going to happen. And then after that, it was just sort of waiting for the scripts, and then I was really excited. I knew exactly what the reactions were going to be, and I was so excited for it.
Roger?
It's impossible to state too strongly the genius of David and Dan, from whom all good things in Game of Thrones stem. And not the least of it is that they find the time at the beginning of each season to phone all those people whose characters are going to die. It's polite. And it's a bit of a double-edged sword, because on the one hand you go into the season knowing that you're going to die, but on the other you're going to spend, 2 months filming, pretending that everything's just fine. Yeah, no, this is cool. I don't mind dying, that's all right. It's not bad, because it's such an extraordinarily happy family that the knowledge that you're going to be leaving it is painful. But at the same time, no one ever enters this show thinking you're going to live for long, so there is a sense of inevitability about it.
Miltos?
Well, I read the first book as well. So it was very clear or ambiguous exactly what happened to Syria Farrell. And I remember when, so that was always like as far as, it was always on my radar. I understood that was what the journey of that character was. But I remember because George R.R. Martin wrote The Pointy End, and I said to him, so, you're going to give me like a fantastic death, like, so I'm going to have, blood and all of that kind of stuff. At least get stabbed, right? And he went, no, I'm not going to do that. He said, but this is like one of those eternal questions since the books came out. And he went, no, I like it ambiguous like that. So I was a bit disappointed because, of course, I have this fetish for dying on stage and on film. I kind of have always wanted to be riddled with pyrotechnics and just be riddled with bullets. I can't explain it, but it's just something that if I achieve that, I can be happy as my contribution as an actor.
Despite not getting riddled with bullets, it was still one of the most badass final sequences of any character on the show. So.
Or was it final?
Or was it final? We gotta address the elephant in the room here. Aimee Richardson, you were not playing the character that you originated, Marcella, when that character met her horrible end.
Yeah. This is awkward.
So let's talk about after your role was recast. Did you still watch the show? Did you watch your character's end, and how did you feel about that?
I'm gonna level with you. I didn't watch it when it was happening because it was all still quite fresh, and I was like, I don't want to see this. But I have since caught up on it all because I watched Kerrie's death because I'm a good friend and I like to see my friends die. So I have since caught up on it, but no, I didn't originally watch it when it came out.
And did you feel like, oh, I wish that was my face, like bleeding profusely on the screen? Or?
I mean, I think that would have been an extremely fun thing to do, and I've often practiced at home bleeding from my face with makeup, and so it would have been fun to try that out, yeah.
All right, so we have a number of fun ways you went out on this panel. We've got